Joining me now, Racing Louisville FC head coach Bev Yanez. And Bev, you guys have a big-time game on Saturday at 5 p.m. Of course, WDRB, the home of Thunder. Racing Louisville is at home that day, and Lynn Family Stadium has become an awesome venue to witness Thunder, and I think they're going to have a record crowd on Saturday. They're building towards it. When I say that, considering the journey you guys have gone on with this club, just what could it mean to have a record attendance for a game on Saturday?
Oh man, we're incredibly excited. Another opportunity for us to be at home, for people to fill those stands. I think if you look back at last week's game against San Diego and you look at the energy from the crowd, specifically with the way that we came out second half, the energy that we felt, the push that we felt as a group of we're going for this, you felt the crowd a part of it in those moments. And so for us to know that there will be people there this weekend, there will be a lot of people there this weekend to support us, and know that that energy will be felt, that energy will be present, is incredibly exciting for us.
That game last week, I agree with you. I think that second half might have been the best half you guys have played through 4 games so far. And you like to say you're one of the few undefeated teams left in the NWSL.
Yes.
Technically correct, yes. You still need that first win after 4 draws. You are very good about keeping a positive framework in that, but I also know as a former player that you're a competitor.
Yes,
when you're that close to breaking through, you got to feel like we just got to push one little step. What is that step for you guys in terms of putting together one complete performance to get a W?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we've talked as a group about putting that complete performance together, and I think I continue to reiterate how much of a process this is, and I continue to reiterate how much we have responsibility as a staff to speed that process up, if you will. The group's heavily committed to the direction that we're headed, and I think it's just a matter of time. I think if we continue to find what the learnings are from each match, we're always going to take something away. We have to identify what that is and continue to push the group to ensure that we come to this full performance. And for us, we feel very close to that, and we look forward to continuing to push for that. And obviously, that's what we want to do this weekend.
When you reviewed the film from last week in that second half, and you're saying, guys, like, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to pushing through and breaking through. What did you see in that second half that said, this group, it's clicking here, and if we can do this for 90, we're going to be okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there was spells first half that were incredibly exciting, right? I don't think we were completely dominated, if you will, first half. But what I'll say is there was pieces that I felt were very good, and I think we addressed some things at halftime for us to get a little bit of higher pressure on them, and also to continue to build in the identity that we would like to build in, but offer options higher up the pitch as well. And I think for us, it started to click. Everything that we've been working on from an out-of-possession standpoint to an in-possession standpoint have all been little bits of framework and detail that allow us to be creative in those moments and to unlock the uniqueness and creativity in those moments. And I think it's just going to take time with the relationships, building the relationships on the pitch is going to take time. And I think you're starting to see that we're learning each other. And you're starting to see those pieces come together. And for us, again, to have that type of momentum in that second half, to be able to build off of that into this week, into this match, is heavily important for us.
When you talk about that chemistry, there's 2 people who I saw last match who I think that really shined, and it was Taylor Flint and Jalen Howe. I thought they dictated how that second half went, whether it was winning possession, playing physical, or kind of setting a tone as a whole. Who else do you see in this group right now who just, it seems to be clicking? You know, I watched Raylan Turner as a rookie. Doesn't look like a rookie. Emma Sears was outstanding last match against San Diego, but who do you kind of jumps out and says, you know what, I think if we can follow that person's lead, we're going to be okay?
Yeah, and I think for us, I think you've seen in our group, it's a shared responsibility in that sense. And I think everybody takes onus and what their roles are and what the understanding of their roles are in each match and each game plan, right? And I think as we continue to hone in on our identity and the expectations from each player positionally, they also get to bring their creative and uniqueness within that. And so for me, it's a shared responsibility of who's doing what in the moment to ensure momentum stays where it is, to ensure momentum stays with us, to ensure our momentum tank is consistently filled. So for me, it's a shared responsibility, but I think everybody, to your point, is seeing that relationship with Jalen and Taylor. Jalen, they're one now.
This stuff. It's fine. It's no big.
Jalen and Taylor continue to build in a positive direction. You're seeing their understanding, their movement, they're linked. They're becoming one in what those movements look like, And then they're allowing their creativity in the moments to execute as needed, whether it's changing the point of attack, playing forward, getting forward, securing the transition, being the player that changes the point of attack. You're seeing their relationship continue to build, and obviously it's something that's really exciting.
You're about to be 5 games in to your first year as a full-time head coach.
Yes.
And somebody actually asked me on X to bring this up to you. If there is something you have learned so far through 5 games, and you've been in the game a long time, so I don't think you had to learn a ton about it, but this experience as a whole, what has coming up on 5 games showed you about being a head coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's always something to learn. I think if I'm asking the players in every capacity to take the learning moments from the game, myself as a head coach has to consistently reflect on what are my learnings. I've said I've already learned a ton.
Yep.
In different spaces. I won't bore you about what all those
it
different
won't
things
bore me.
are.
That's the thing. I was like, you want to go into
But
details.
my point
don't bore me.
is that I constantly am in, and us as a staff are constantly in reflection of what did we learn from it? What can we take from it?
Right.
How can we continue to contribute positively to this environment? And I think it's a huge piece. If we're going to ask players to do that, we better look at ourselves and do the same thing. And so for me, yes, of course, 5 games in come this weekend in regards to me being in this position, but the learning will never stop. I heard this a long time ago, very early. There's never a perfect time to become a head coach, as long as you have the right mentality, the right people around you, and the group that you feel you can positively impact. You continue your learnings throughout the whole time. Am I going to look back? Hopefully I'm in this industry for a long time. I obviously love this club.
Yeah.
But my point is I'm going to look back and say, I remember my first year, but what am I learning now that will continue to make me the person I need to be for this group, for the staff, and for this group of players? It's incredibly important to me. So I have to continue to be level-headed in all of those senses and continue to provide the environment I believe these players deserve and this staff deserves.
The word you use quite often is framework.
Yes.
And when you say framework, I often think of structure within an organization. You have a staff with somebody like Carm, who has been around the world, seen a lot of soccer. Sergio has been with the club for a while, and countless other members. But Ryan Dell is also a huge part of that. And I know you two have to be almost in sync as a head coach and general manager. Year 1 together in building this club. How do you think the relationship has gone between you and Ryan?
Yeah, and I said it very early on, like preseason, we're not in preseason anymore, but preseason is just as much for the players as it is for us.
Yeah.
We're learning each other. We're learning how each other works, right? I'm only as good as the people around me. I'm a firm believer in that, right? I like to be challenged, I like to be supported, and ultimately I will make the decisions. But my point is that I'm surrounded by phenomenal people who have the experiences they have. Carm, Mitch, Sergio, Ryan, right?
Yep.
Twads, you go all the way down the list. I mean, I can name them all. But they have the experiences that they have, and they have the influence that they have within this group, because I'm only as good as the people around me. If we continue to enhance each other, push each other, we continue to raise the bar as a group. And for me, success is the group. We are in this together. A playoff team is a team that does this, and that we know will fight as a group and will continue to support each other as a group. And so for me, the relationship's been fantastic, and we need to continue to push each other to ensure that the relationship stays fantastic, challenge each other professionally, and continue to support each other to ensure that those experiences as a whole lend us to creating the best environment for these players and what we know these players can achieve.
Saturday, I think, represents a pretty interesting moment for you guys, where you could have a record attendance, breakthrough for that first win, and I think sports is so often about meeting those moments and taking advantage of them. Yes, it's just a regular season game, but is there a sense of something bigger when you guys will have that many people in the building? You will have the eyeballs of the community, and to have maybe, for lack of a better phrase, kind of a breakthrough moment at this early in the season. Do you view it that way?
Yeah, it's special for us. It's special for us to represent this city. We take that very seriously. We love this city, the people, the culture in the city. I always say it, the food. I love the food.
Do you have a favorite place yet or not?
The food is amazing. I have a lot of favorite places. The coffee's you get my point.
Good,
is we enjoy representing this city in every way, shape, and it's pride. So to have the fans behind us, to have that many people there, to show that they believe in what we're doing, they believe in where we're headed, that fuels players massively. It fuels the staff massively to know that the city's behind us, because we're there to represent the city in every way, shape, and form in the best manner. And we are very proud of that. And so for me, yes, we continue to trend in the right direction, and I fully believe results will continue to come for us.
And then win or lose, there's fireworks either way.
Yes.
But they're a lot better if you win.
Yes,
to
we
be
would
fair.
prefer, yes, yes, yes.
Maybe some lavender
Yes,
fireworks, we can get those in there. Bev, we always appreciate
Thank you
your
so
time.
much.
Good luck this
Thank you
weekend.
so
Of
much.
course, Thunder
Thank
on
you for having me.
WDRB, and then 5 p.m. they'll hit the pitch at Lynn Family Stadium against Utah. But for now, for Bev Yanez, I'm Tyler Grieber, WDRB Sports.